This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out, y'all.
So was that like a pep talk?
Yeah, that was pep talk.
Grab what you need for a fight. We're wheels up in 10.
You might want to work on your team motivation thing. You heard of Phil Jackson?
Yeah.
He's like the gold standard, okay? Triangle, bitch. Study.
Citizens, 44 minutes past the top of the hour. Okay, I want us to just imagine something. Think about your squad, all right? Your go-to folks, your top priority pals that are always going to ride for you through storm and sun. And now I want you to think about upgrading that squad. Imagine if you got Will Smith in that squad, Jared Leto in that squad, Margot Robbie in that squad, Viola Davis, and Joel Kinnaman in that squad. How bananas would your life be? And you know what? You don't have to imagine too hard because I've got one of those people right here. Joel Kinnaman is with us.
Hey.
Joel, how art thou, yo?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Joel is starring in Suicide Squad. This is why I brought up my squad analogy, if you're trying to understand where I was going with that. Yeah, Suicide Squad. So, Joel, I always like to hear, like, the motive. Obviously, there are some pretty clear reasons to me why you would want to be a part of this cast, why you probably jumped up.
Yeah,
at the script when it landed in your lap. But I want to hear from you. What was it that really just appealed to you?
I mean, it was the whole. I was sort of following this project from the sidelines. I was just seeing all the cast, the cast members getting added to it, and I was getting really bummed out that nobody was calling me. And then, and then I heard that Tom Hardy dropped out, and that's when I got the call. So
I got to ask you about that because I heard that you lost out the role of Mad Max to Tom Hardy. So was it a little bit of sweet revenge that you got this role and he didn't?
You know, Tom is an incredible actor, and I'm. If I could continue just to eat his leftovers, I'm eating good.
Right.
Right. Hell yeah. So you know what? When you see everyone else who are your coworkers, for how many months did it take to shoot this film?
We shot for about 5-6 months.
Wow.
It was like seven months in total with preparations.
Okay, and then it's coming out August 5th, yes?
Yep.
Okay, so when you have people like Will Smith, you have people like Viola Davis. And
they're all right.
And you know what? Yeah, you're pretty good too. Joe, you're pretty good. But still, when you're seeing people who are titans in the game, is it something that is daunting for you, or does it just like put an extra fire under your ass to deliver?
I mean, it's definitely inspiring, and especially working with somebody like Will, who's just made generosity a way of life, and he makes everybody comfortable. He's always making sure that everybody else is good, and if he's 2 minutes late, he's running to be on time.
Wow.
And like everybody, you got a makeup person and a wardrobe person, and and he's got his team that he's worked with for a long time. And after you've been on set for 14 hours and nobody's eaten for 5-6 hours, everybody's hungry as hell, and the food comes in. Will doesn't eat until everybody in his team has gotten their food.
Wow.
And so that and that just sets the tone. Nobody's gonna like act like a little bitch if Will is that kind of a man. So
yeah.
So it's definitely inspiring.
That's a lot of humility. Yeah. Now, did you guys, when it comes to the different energies on the set, are you guys like very serious about your work, or do you have like opportunities to crack jokes, play any pranks?
It was a very, very silly set.
Really?
I mean, it was. We had to sort of remind ourselves that, like, okay, there's going to be a lot of people seeing this. we were having a ball. The whole crew was. We became a little squad. We became a little posse, and we had a really good time together. And I think a lot of the chemistry that we had offset, translated into the chemistry on set. So. We really enjoyed ourselves on this one.
Oh, super dope. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that all plays out on the big screen. Suicide Squad, August 5th. Citizens, call up, speak to Joel Kinnaman. We're also going to hear from our movie junkie, DB, 888-742-3345. It's Sway in the Morning. 50 minutes past the top of the hour, citizens. Sway's doing some work. Our sister HB, she's not with us today, but we still have a special guest, Joel Kinnaman. He is in Suicide Squad, which is coming out August 5th. Make sure that your ass are in those theater seats. Now, Joel, something that we spoke about off air, and I was like, you know what? I should freaking share this with the citizens because this made me cackle. And when I'm thinking about your last name, I can't help it. Another word comes to mind, cinnamon. And I was like, hold up. When you were younger, when you were like knee high, did anyone use that to their advantage and make up some moniker? And what did you say?
Yeah, no. Since I grew up in Sweden, Kinnaman doesn't sound like that. It doesn't really rhyme with cinnamon in Swedish. But then over here, Will, he gave me my stripper name. He was like Cinnaman.
Yes.
Cinnaman. And Cinnaman, he only dances at like an all girl.
Okay,
strip
yes.
club. But he'll be the only man dancing.
Damn, somebody must have been upset with that
Cinnaman,
clarity.
he's got some moves.
You know what, Sujo? Why don't you tell us a bit about your character, since I know this is a really interesting plot, since you've got these like super wild super villains who have been imprisoned and now they get this opportunity to actually work sort of on the side of good.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, this movie isn't about good versus evil. It's about bad versus evil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar to something we're experiencing now.
And so my character, Rick Flag, he's, a top military guy, and he gets the, ungrateful task of, trying to wrangle these cats, these villains. And then over the course of the film, Rick Flag's loyalty starts to shift, and he starts to, respect the squad, and eventually he becomes part of it.
Ooh. Now, DB actually got the chance to watch the screener, yeah?
Yes, I did. Got to see the movie in advance.
Look at
Sorry,
that.
citizens. I got to watch it.
Perks.
I've been following this movie ever since they started teasing it and putting all the trailers out and everything. And I read about how each cast member prepared for their role individually. Like Viola Davis, she was reading manuals about like psychiatry and everything like that. Jared was listening to old blues and jazz music from like the 30s. What did you do?
So I got teamed up with these three military guys that were sort of like real life Rick Flags. They were, two former Navy SEALs that then became CIA operators, and one a Delta Force sniper. And they put me through this boot camp. It was like this immersion where we'd for 3.5 days. We'd go there in the morning. It was me and two other guys, and we'd have like really intense workout, and then they'd take us out in the woods and wear backpacks with like 50 pounds in them, and find different markings and targets, and then we'd have another workout, and the whole thing, we didn't sleep for almost 60 hours.
Wow.
And then like we had this sort of where we went back to base, and then I thought I was gonna get to sleep on the concrete floor for like at least an hour, but then they just like rushed in and busted out this iPad and they were showing me like a half hour of like cartel beheadings, and there's like, this is the bad guys, this is what we do, this is why you got to see this. And I was like, my actor eyes can never unsee this. This is gonna scar me for life. And then the whole thing ended with this massive. They enlisted 15 to 20 Canadian, because we shot the movie in Toronto, so that's where we were doing the prep. Former and active military guys, and they'd taken over this massive abandoned meat locker. And then we did, drills and different missions where, we'd use the guns. I mean, there were blanks, but they were loud. And throughout the whole of this, these 3 days, I'd be the commander. I'd have to call the shots. And, with being completely physically fatigued and you still new to all this stuff, and you haven't slept for 60 hours. It was pretty rough. It was a really intense experience, and it just gave me a lot of respect for what these guys go through. I mean, I thought it was really tough doing it, and we were shooting blanks, and these guys, they have to make those decisions and make those calls where if you make the wrong call, like you're dead, or even worse, like your friend's dead.
Yeah, nobody else cut in that situation.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy, because a lot of times when people go out to war, we always hear about PTSD. So I'm thinking just you getting, the psychological simulation. Was it hard to like decompress after shooting?
No, not really. I didn't have time to decompress after this film because I went straight into House of Cards. So, and that was yeah, I had like 6 days in between. So.
At least you got to sleep then, you know.
I did, yeah.
I read that there was a lot of reshoots done because they wanted to kind of change the tone a little bit and make it a little light. No, it was just...
No. On these kind of films, you know, they put so much money into it, so the filmmakers always get the luxury of, after they, you know, cut together a version of the film, they get to sort of like, well, what could we have, you know, what could we do to add? And so all these big movies, they always have like a 2 to 3 week period at some point where they, you know, where they add some more material. There was nothing about the tone that was changed. It was actually more like we added action sequences. That's what was on the
Sheesh, y'all was working.
We were working.
Well, Joe Kinnaman, we will all be in the theaters August 5th for Suicide Squad. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and if you're in New York, it's actually debuting on August 1st, so you might be able to catch it early. Ooh. Go see it in 3D and IMAX as well.
Yeah, be cool like DB.
Yeah.
Joel, are you on social media? Can people reach you?
Yeah, on Instagram, Joel Kinnaman.
Okay, Joel Kinnaman. That's KINNAMAN. Also, DB, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at It's Really DB.
Nice. And then OQ is...
I am OQ on Instagram.
No Twitter?
No Twitter.
Okay, he's most active on Instagram. Ladies, take note. And then DJ Wonder, he's consistent throughout all places online, at DJ Wonder, Twitter, Instagram, all of that, Snapchat. And then for myself, it's Tracy, GITS, ACYG. Guess what, people? Calloway, Sway, he will be here tomorrow. In the meantime, though, if you want to bother him, you can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, at Real Sway, and make sure that you send lots of digital love to Heather B at the Happy Hour, WHB. And that's it, yo. Thank you for rocking with us. I have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only
On Shade 45.